Hi lovelies! Soup season is in full swing, at least at my house, and today I am sharing a delicious Asian-inspired soup that I think you guys are going to absolutely devour. It's this chicken ramen soup, and it comes together in less than 20 minutes, which is why I love it so much. It's perfect if you're feeling a little bit under the weather because it's loaded with things like garlic and ginger and other great good for you ingredients. So it's one of those soups you'll definitely want to add to your repertoire as the winter months are upon us. Now to get started, I have got my nice big Dutch oven heating up on the stove. You could do this with a soup pot as well if you wanted to. And I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to that. As soon as that oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add my chicken to the pot. Now I'm using just some boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I've cut into small cubes. You could definitely do this with boneless, skinless chicken thighs if you wanted to, or you could skip the meat in this recipe entirely and leave it vegetarian. It's absolutely up to you. I'm going to season my chicken breast with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, and then I'll let it cook up for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, just until it's no longer pink and it's started to get a little golden around the edges. Now it is time to start building some flavor in here. So I have got one small yellow onion that I have just finely diced. I've also got some minced garlic headed in here, as well as some freshly grated ginger. So like I said, if you're feeling a little under the weather, there is nothing like ginger and garlic to help clear your sinuses. It also happens to smell amazing. So your kitchen instantly is just going to smell absolutely delightful. While that onion is just cooking away, I will give you guys a bit of a bump update. Yes, in case you missed it, I am indeed pregnant. I'm about 5.5 months now, so 24 weeks. It's hard to believe in just a few months we're going to have another little one in this household. Let's just say things are already quite busy here, so it should be interesting. But of course, I am super, super excited to welcome this one to our family. And I have been extra hungry lately, as you might imagine. So soups like this have been really, really wonderful. And then we're going to go ahead and add our broth to this. Now here I'm using chicken broth, but you could also use some mushroom broth or even some vegetable broth. Both of those would work. Definitely just a matter of what you have on hand in your pantry. And then we're just going to bring this mixture to a boil. So once that broth has reached a nice rolling boil, I like to turn my heat down to medium, and now it's time to add some veggies to this. And the best part about this soup is that the sky is really the limit in terms of what kinds of veggies you can add to this. Basically, go through your produce drawer, pull out what you have, and toss it in. You can use some broccoli, cauliflower, red bell pepper would be really amazing. Pretty much whatever you have on hand. Today I'm using a combination of mushrooms, which are really classic in a lot of Asian cooking. So we're gonna get those into our pot. For my greens, I'm going to be adding some baby bok choy to this. Now, baby bok choy is a bit of a bitter Asian green. If you're not a fan or you can't find any where you live, you can go ahead and use some spinach or kale here instead. This is just a great soup to sneak some greens in, so I highly recommend doing that. And I am also going to be getting some snow peas in here. Snap peas would totally work as well. And we're basically just going to dump them all into the pot and then let them cook away for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. It doesn't take very long at all with that hot broth for your veggies to just soften up, and you'll start to see them turn nice and bright green, and that is a good sign. You don't want your veggies to get super soggy. You wanna make sure they still retain a bit of their crunch. And after giving our veggies about a 1 to 2 minute head start here, I am going to add my ramen to this. So I'm using just classic ramen here. If you wanted to keep this gluten-free, you could use some rice noodles instead. Those would totally work in this recipe. And then the final step here is just going to be adding some soy sauce or some tamari to this. Tamari is just gluten-free soy sauce. It's really just a matter of preference because it adds this nice sort of savory flavor that is absolutely irresistible. And in a matter of mere minutes, friends, we are in the promised land. So our ramen is fully cooked and nice and tender. Our veggies are bright green, they look incredible. My kitchen is just filled with the most amazing aroma. I wish you guys could smell it. And that means it is time to get our soup on. I like topping it simply with some finely sliced green onion and a sprinkle of sesame seeds. But if you wanted to kick it up a notch, you could totally add some sriracha or red pepper flakes just to add a bit of heat. totally up to you, but I promise you guys, you will not regret making this recipe. It is full of amazing flavor and comes together in under 20 minutes in a single pot. There is so much to love, and I really hope you enjoy it as much as I do. If you give it a try for yourselves, don't forget to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo, because you know how much I love seeing your kitchen creations. Remember, this recipe, like all of our recipes, is featured on healthymealplans.com, our amazing meal planning site that allows you to browse more than 1,000 recipes, drag and drop them into your weekly meal plan, and then automatically generates your shopping list for the week. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.